Okay, I'm holding a CP4U early version of what we're using right now. We're using a fractally impregnated lab crystal. That's the crystal. They're grown in in labs, and they're used mainly on computers as microchips. But these things, when they're whole, actually have a somewhat of a brain in them, and they actually change to the car after they've been impregnated by the fractals that we used. I just got through taking a 2-mile run with the car. I went 72 miles an hour at one point and got 72 miles per gallon. I didn't video that because my camera wasn't working right. But I did take 2 snapshots with the under load and under throttle position. The load one tells you that at 82% load, the miles per gallon is essentially the same as at 50% load. So it's 3% difference. That's basically just drift. It has nothing to do with how the car runs from what I've seen. Okay, I just showed you some earlier information on the F2, and the F3 has been out for, I don't know, 6 months or something like that. We're not actually selling the coil pack right now. Our site was invaded by some Iraq Palestinian front. I don't know what it was. And they took it down, so we haven't gotten it back yet. But we'll get it back. What we got is a device that basically changes the fuel mileage on a car at lower speeds than it used to, for use in India. This car typically gets still 60, 65 miles to a gallon at 80 miles an hour. Now we tested this thing on Route 66, as it were, and the car that we did a head-to-head test between my test car, which I've had for years, and an identical car, what we call the red car. And we had a university professor observe the test and run it, actually. And as it turned out, my test car only got 47 miles to the gallon, which is outrageous. But the test car got 72. Well, that was quite an experience. Everybody looked at each other and said, "Why are we doing this? If this car gets 72 miles to a gallon, where did we go wrong?" Well, I knew immediately that there was a problem, but I couldn't figure out what it was. So we took the car home, and everybody was pretty upset about it. And I decided to drive the car to my house, and on the trip home I got 100 miles to a gallon for 100 miles, used 0.97 gallons of fuel. So I knew immediately what had happened. This thing had jumped from one car to the other. There's no hookup on the cars, so it can go from one car to the other, and it had done it before, but it just never came to mind that this could be what happened. And I took the car, put it in my driveway, left it away from all the other cars that have the device on it, and within 3 days it went back to normal and got 32 miles to a gallon. So it was getting at one point there 3 times the mileage of a normal car at 80 miles an hour. Now, if that doesn't open your eyes up, I don't know what does. But at 50, it gets about 56 miles to the gallon at 50 miles an hour, and it gets that pretty much all the way up until it gets to higher speeds, and then it picks up. That's the way these things work. Now we know this is basically a device that heals cars. So it actually increases the performance of a car that's degraded, which my car was, because it had a problem with the valves being carboned up, and so the test car was better than the car, and it used all of its what it had going for it to make the car run at all. So it only got 47 miles to the gallon, which is still 150% about, not quite, not bad. And the other car got 300%. So that's the way it went. So that's the way this car worked. Now now we know how it works, and if you go to Nissan Harriman's website, he'll explain to you the vortex that we all knew about. We knew it was there, but we needed somebody like him to tell the public about it, to tell the experts about it, because the experts don't really understand what he's talking about. They may be experts, but they don't quite have it yet. And the engineer who was an expert had no clue what had occurred. He went home thinking that the experiment was a total waste. So we got 72 miles to the gallon. Nobody could explain it. And then we got 100 miles to the gallon, and I understood. And that's what happened.